there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. Road Ramble number 12. It's called being cool. Look, you know what? I see a lot of cats still getting caught up in this looks, money, and status thing. And for the record, it's going to get you some women. I mean, with the money and the status thing, yeah, you're going to get some women, though the quality of the sex they're going to give you is going to be low. And, you know, if your money or status change, they probably out the door. And looks is always going to be a lure. You know, looks will always be a lure. But see, despite all that, no one seems to want to account for those cats who get a woman and, you know, they like blue collar or not working or whatever, and quite frankly their looks are average, even to the point where women will say, if you ask a woman who's dealt with these guys, they'll say, oh, he don't look like all that, right? They don't feel the look. So the question then becomes, well, how are they doing it, right? Now, of course, some people would say game, but there's so many things that go into game. Sometimes people are just cool, man. Seriously. Sometimes some dudes are just cool. You can call it swag. Well, it's not even swag or charisma. But you got some dudes, you know, they might not look all that to the woman, but once they start talking and she get comfortable with them and, you know, they laugh with them and everything, they start to look better. See, a part of the game people don't talk about, yeah, women generally choose in the first 5 minutes who they want to deal with, right? Really the first minute. But there are also cases where a man can grow on a woman, right? A man can actually grow on a woman, right? And just understand what that really means. It's just like, you know, maybe she's like just in some social circles, she can talk to the guy and she ain't feeling him at first, but then she talk with him and then find out they got some stuff in common, all of that. Now, for that to work, it helps if he's at least decent looking, but sometimes I could be with some ugly dudes too, because I've known some dudes who've gotten women like that, you know. Even the women say, yeah, I wasn't feeling him at first, he don't look like all that, but then they'll say he's sexy in his own way, because they cool as fuck. I know several cats like that. I know, and I've known several dudes like that. Understand what that means. See, the looks, money, and status, all that is the lure, right? But dude look good, yeah, that's going to lure the woman, but he still got to talk to her. Because as women are quick to say, and they'll say this about some guys, any of y'all who know any women who's cool enough who going to be honest with you, they will tell you. They'll say a guy look good until he open his mouth. Like I've known of guys, men, right? All throughout my life, who women will say, oh, he a pretty boy, or he look good or something. But then they get to know him, they find out he an asshole or something like that. Right? The key piece in all of this is that a man got to connect to a woman. You know, I talked about this when I talked about the conversation. Right? He got to be cool. Like, if you can just carry yourself cool, and cool is just more than the conversation. Cool is how you carry yourself. You know, I just did something on my private site where I talked briefly about the Steve Urkel to Stephen Urkel transformation. Now, his look didn't change. You know, his actual physical bone structure didn't change one bit. But all of a sudden, he was cool. He drank his little cool potion, he was cool. All of a sudden, his voice intonation changed, his posture changed, how he looked at, you know, Laura changed, all of that stuff. He was cool. That's the only thing that changed. Like, his looks didn't change. Like, you got guys out here thinking, and I'm going to tell you what, with a lot of these guys thinking they can get, like, plastic surgery, or if they just had looks, they get a little bit more money. Yo, it's still Alabama. And for those outside of D.C., I'll translate, you still some dork or some geek anyway. That money or status didn't change it. And even if you get, like, plastic surgery, change your looks, you still probably going to walk the same way. Looks don't come from, confidence don't really come from looks anyway. Or what you got external. One thing about cool people, they accept themselves as they are. They do what they do. They just cool. They ain't tripping talking about, oh, I'm ugly or I'm this or that or broke. You notice they just kind of live. But everything they do comes from within them. That's why you get some people, if they truly cool, some dudes, if they cool, they can make something look good. They can wear whatever. They can wear whatever clothes because of how they carry themselves. You know? They just are cool people. I mean, like, you can, like, and a key to it is, like, just getting to know them. Because I remember, I had this one girlfriend. She was in a social circle. None of the dudes in her social circle liked my ass. They just didn't like me. Because I wasn't friendly to them and shit. But then I got a chance to talk to a couple of them, and it got back to me. They were like, damn, Ron, cool as shit. In fact, that's a big part of what I do anyway. My shit, I'm just cool. Like, a lot of the women I've actually, as far as even been intimate with, didn't always think I look good. I mean, they were comfortable with it, but the thing with being cool, that makes whatever you got, that enhances whatever you got. And quite frankly, any guy who don't feel like he has the model looks, which, let me go on a tangent real quick. Looks are subjective as hell. Seriously, looks like this. Look, any dude, too many dudes out here compare themselves to Brad Pitt or something, right? In fact, I'm gonna do a separate video on that because to me that's stupid. That's stupid. So I'll do the next video on that, right? But just that cool thing, man, because first of all, I'll say this about looks, they change. Looks change and stuff. You know, you can put on weight, lose weight, whatever. You know, circumstances change. But if you're a cool person, you'll notice that, shit, that just get better. That just get better. Because at the end of the day, the woman has to connect with you. She has to connect with, not necessarily, I mean, it's cliche to say emotionally, but yeah, she got to feel good in your presence. Like, if you're just a cool person every time, you know, you ain't on some negative bullshit. Because a lot of dudes kind of lose out because they negative and shit, or they want to be too serious in a conversation. If you that guy who can, like, talk to the woman, she laugh all the time when she with you, shit, you can get her. You can get her. It ain't no big deal or whatever, right? And you can, like, cool, you can talk with different people. You can, like, hang out in different places. Shoot, it's the cool people who get invited to the parties. Shit. In fact, if you go to any social situation, starting from high school, right? Usually the best looking person isn't the most popular, or the best looking dude, right? It's usually like, who is it? It's like the party guy, maybe the star football player. They might look like whatever. Right? But that popularity thing, you know, and I'm telling you, women go crazy over that cool dude. That's the great equalizer, right? Like, especially if you know you ain't that, like, so-called physical, like, ideal that people think they gotta be, right? Because I tell you what, with a lot of, look, I'm just be straight. And I know some people might get mad when I say this, but they need to get mad. They need to get mad at it. I don't care, I'm going to be honest. A lot of people just not, you know, you just don't really want to deal with them. They just not cool. You know? You know, a lot of these so-called incels and whatnot, a lot of them, they just not likable people, man. And I've seen some in the real world, man. You almost want to bust them in the face. And they thinking it's because of how they look at some shit, but shit, they looking at you with disdain. Like at one of my grocery stores, there's this incel looking dude. And the thing about him, he just not cool. He just looked like he works at a deli counter and stuff, man. Whenever I see him, I just don't get anything from it. Because he look like type of motherfucker who'll pee in some shit or rub his fingers up his nose and shit. And then put it in your food or something. So as soon as I see him, I'm like, you know what, I don't need that thing that bad. Because he ain't cool. He ain't a cool person. And a lot of times, that's that X factor. Everybody think it's some like numerical shit or some stuff like that, but then they can't figure out why. Like, you got a lot of very attractive, physically attractive dudes who women would say were physically attractive and shit, but they can't get any play. I've known some dudes like that because they weren't cool. Their personality was fucked up. You know, they were either too arrogant or too shy or whatever. So seriously, work on being cool. Work on being like that type of cat. If you look, in fact, that's a big part of the game. A lot of times you can diffuse stuff if you just go in a situation. Like, I'll go in some place, I'll be like, hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Sometimes they look at me funny. Be like, hey, what's up? You know, diffuses a lot. It's that charisma thing too, man. Seriously, a lot of people, I'm gonna tell you what, a lot of guys really, if they want to improve, just need to improve their personality, man. You don't need to go through a whole bunch of changes. You know, at the end of the day, it's about somebody liking you. Everybody trying to run all this game and all this on women and shit, or trying to like lie to them and all this other bullshit. Just be somebody that women like to be around. Like, I knew this dude. This dude was a straight up, I mean, this dude was a slacker, working a minimum wage job, overweight. But he was cool as shit, though. Women loved his ass. Women loved him. He was just he's one of the coolest people you ever want to meet. He ain't had money. He ain't had status. And he was overweight, so his face was a little bigger than it could have been. You know, plus he looked like he was on some emo golf type of shit. So he didn't even have a mainstream look, but he was a cool ass motherfucker. Women threw that shit at him because he was so cool. So it's just being cool. When you can't understand why, stop, get out of that shit like, oh, he don't look like a fashion model. Whatever. All these babies out here, you only got a tiny percentage who are like on that level any damn way. Yet you get some motherfucker in the hood or something, be looking average looking, might be a little bit overweight, got 13 kids. I ain't figure out why, but then you talk to the motherfucker, he cool as shit. So, anyway, I'm going and get my workout on. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.